Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Ingenera. This is not a gaming video, this is a shameless plug. Just so you guys know, there will be spoilers and I'm sorry, I will try to keep them to a minimum. So, let's get started. I've actually recorded this about 10 times now and I'm having some severe issues with my recording stuff, so sorry if I seem very angry right now. But this is Devil May Cry. These two are actually part of my favorite gameplay series. This is actually 4 of the 5 games. I didn't see DMC4 on here anywhere, so I'm sorry. It's not too hard to find in a store anywhere. Usually a game store will have it somewhere, or you can order it offline. It's really easy to find. It's not an elusive series at all. But just so you guys know the order of what I'm going to be doing things, I'm going to do a quick kind of plot explanation. I'm going to try not to give too much away. It'll just be a very vague description of the plot. But the plot has never been really the strong suit in Devil May Cry anyway. It's the backstory and the gameplay you want to focus on. So, let's get started again. The game all starts with DMC1, also known as this game. Yes, I have them all. Leave me alone. I told you this is my favorite series. I've warned you. But this game was made... Hit my mic. This game was made in 2001 for PlayStation 2. In this game, you go to Mallet Island and fight the Devil King. Devil May Cry 2 doesn't have art, I'm sorry. Just didn't have it in the version I have. So, not in the version, in the copy I have. This is the discs for Devil May Cry 2. In this game, you save the world from a power-hungry tycoon, multi-millionaire guy, you know, that whole thing. So, not much to that one. Devil May Cry 3 has 2 different discs for PlayStation 2. This one, if you have a PlayStation 2, this one has Dante. This one has an unlockable character. If you played Devil May Cry 2, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But I'm not going to say who for those who didn't know this game, because you learned in like the first 5 minutes, but still, mystery factor. Quick note for the HD collection, if you have a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, you find this or this on my screen. These are the same thing as the first 4 discs. It is the same game. Don't be confused. Devil May Cry 3 in the special edition has the other disc, or the unlockable character, after you beat a level. I'm pretty sure it's any level. Mine unlocked after normal, because I just went through the first gameplay playthrough on normal. So, I'm pretty sure you just unlock him as anybody. So, you unlock that with that game. It's in there, don't worry. Next one in the series is Devil May Cry 4. You get to have a new character you get to play, and Dante is in there, so you all can enjoy that. You have to save a city from an evil demon. I'll leave it at that and leave that for you guys to look at. And then there's the new guy, DMC, Devil May Cry. That one's caused a lot of controversy in the fandom because it's the reboot of DMC 3, and it very heavily strays from the Dante you've grown to love. I will do heavy spoilers later on that, but pretty much that one is a mix of all the games. You have to fight an evil tycoon demon guy who is... Yeah, that's about all I can say without getting too heavy spoilers right now, so... Another tycoon world thing. Enjoy that. Chronologically, this is where all the spoilers happen. I will not be warning you. Just, if you don't want to hear spoilers, skip over this part entirely. It's probably the rest of the video. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say, the gameplay is pretty awesome. Devil May Cry 3 is the strongest, probably done by... This is my opinion, by the way. 3 is the best gameplay-wise. Then it would be 4... 5, which is the reboot, then probably 1 and 2, because 2 is very low. Overall, it's 3, 4, 1, 5, 2. That's my listing of the games overall. And I will be explaining that with spoilers here in a little bit. Chronologically, it actually doesn't start with DMC3. there is actually a manga that comes before DMC3 that kind of sets up the entire feel of that. You get to see Dante on a mission, get to kind of learn his situation, who his friends are, all that kind of stuff. It's a really good thing. I'd recommend that. The only thing is the mangas are really hard to find because copyrights, and actually they were never finished. There is one book left that went undone because the guy that was writing and drawing them died. I'm pretty sure he went completely insane after his wife left him, and it was a mess, and he committed suicide. That's from what I've heard. Again, I don't know if that's completely true. I don't know what happened to the guy, but there is one missing book that did not get made, so don't freak out if it seems unfinished. So there's the manga, then DMC3, then there's another manga describing, well, you can't really say anything until you play DMC3. That main character that has the other character you can play, that guy has a manga where you get to see what happened to him, and you get to see a bit of Dante between DMC1 and DMC3, so you get to see him kind of grow up a little bit, you get to learn what happened to the other guy, and then you jump to DMC1, and there's really not much for spoilers in that game. It's very early. It was actually meant to be Resident Evil 4. Fun fact for that. So, they had a lot of issues making Dante look manly from behind. He was originally supposed to be named Tony in that game. There's a fun fact for you. But they couldn't. Everybody that's played Devil May Cry knows his hair is about this long and it's white. Snow white. So they had a lot of issues making that look Resident Evil level protagonist. So they wanted to change the camera angles, which actually had not happened before in Resident Evil. It did happen later, but Capcom didn't feel like its audience was ready for that kind of switch at the time. So they asked for a whole new series, and Devil May Cry was born. There's the fun fact for DMC1. Devil May Cry actually has another thing between 1 and 2, and that is the animated series. Oh, this is a really good series. You get to kind of see Dante as a grown-up. Our little boy is all grown up. Fandoms, they happen. But you get to see kind of Dante as an adult. You get to see him and his friends that you've met in Devil May Cry. Well, one of the friends you meet in Devil May Cry 1, one of the friends you meet in 3. You get to see those two kind of co-inhabit with him. Well, not really co-inhabit, that means live together, but not really. You get the point. You get to see their dynamic, you get to see how they work, you get to meet another new person, and his new informant. Cough. And then there is Devil May Cry 2. This game is iffy chronologically. A lot of people like to argue that this game is after Devil May Cry 4. I disagree with this theory, and I will explain that here. I am going by physical appearance for basing age. Just to clear that up, I believe DMC 3 Dante is 18 to 19, DMC 1 is 20 to 21, DMC 2, I believe, is 29 to 30, DMC 4, I believe, is about 40. Clearing that up. I believe this because of their physiques. If you look at the way their build is, Devil May Cry 3, he's very lean, very young. You can tell he's not old at all. DMC 1, he's just a little tiny bit older. He's got a little more muscle to him that you see in... Actually, it's a pretty good switch between this. You get to see a little more buildup of muscle. You get to see him act a little bit older. But then, spoilers, there's actually rumors that Dante became very depressed after the after what happened in the animated series, because the girls he works with they wanted to get their own way, do their own things for a while, and it was actually the first time Dante's been alone since the actions in DMC 3. Completely alone, nobody around but his informants and So he's not had very close friends, and there's actually speculation that he became very depressed at this time, and that's why he becomes very weird in DMC 2. He's very depressed, very different, and it's not the usual peppy, sassy, flippant Dante. That's the fan reasoning for that. I believe he is that age in there because if you look at the difference between DMC 2 and DMC 4, he's put on a lot of muscle. He's gotten that flippant nature back. He's grown back up. So that's why I believe 4 is the 4th in the series. I've already described DMC 4 pretty much right there. You get to see the new guy. Huge spoiler that I can't say, because never mind, because I can't tell you about the DMC 3 spoiler. Oh, that breaks my heart. But you guys will be able to tell. But in DMC 4, you get to meet the new kid, Nero. You get to see a whole new type of graphics. You get to do new gameplays. Instead of just having to pick one or hit the start menu to switch through your styles, like DMC 3 was you start it and you're stuck with that style for the rest of that level, and then you can change it again in the next level. DMC 1 is you have to pause to switch everything. DMC 4 you can switch on the fly, which is another reason I believe Dante is older, because he's honed his skills and mastery into that. You can switch between Gunslinger, Royal Guard, Swordsmaster, and Trickster on the fly. You can switch between all weapons as much as you want. There's no limits. He's become a lot more mature in this one, so that's why I believe that one's later. And that kind of game mechanic is really nice. If you really want to try the Devil May Cry series, I'd recommend DMC 4. I know it's not on the list, but that happens. But it's a great way to get into the game. You can start with I think that one's the easiest gameplay-wise, because you have that on-the-fly everything. But it's also one of the funnest. The only one that's funner than that is DMC 3, and that one's just brutal. That game will make you curl into a ball and cry. I have several times. Anyway, DMC 5 is about the same time as DMC 3, since it is a reboot of the series. That's what happens when things get rebooted. That one is a fan hatred. They've removed everything that is Dante and put a new guy in his place. That's what happens when you get a reboot. The only thing that puts it above DMC 2 is the weaponry. I am a huge fan of the weaponry in this game. It's nowhere near as fun as 3, 4, and 1, but I just really did not like DMC 2. I'm going to be burned at the stake for ranking it higher than that by other hardcore DMC fans, but it's my opinion. Roast me all you want. So, that's about it for this. I just want to give you guys a quick intro to Devil May Cry, even though it's not quick at all. It's probably like 10 minutes by now. So, you all can enjoy this. I hope you buy it. It's a great, great game. It has wonderful game mechanics and a really fun backstory to get into. So if you guys want to know more about Devil May Cry and don't care about spoilers, I have a Skype. Message me. Give me your reasons why you want to learn more about Devil May Cry, and I will send you my name. You can add me on Skype, and we can talk one-on-one. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to ask it. If you do ask for my Skype, though, please don't give it out. I'm going to try and keep that kind of private for those fans that earn the right to get to talk to me one-on-one, and those that collabs things, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.